Hey yo, what's up guys, and welcome to the first ever Nightlife Drifting presentation. For all you gamers out there, pay attention to this one. Keep your eyes on Nightlife Drifting. It is going to be the future of crypto and gaming.
Welcome to the Nightlife Drifting Talk, which is going to be all about nightlife drifting, the game details, all the juicy details that are going to be in this game that you guys want to know. And just to let everybody know, this was supposed to be streaming to YouTube, but due to technical issues on YouTube's side, we'll be having to post this instead. So this will be live here first, then go out everywhere. So now, actually, the CEO of NLife is here. Wrath, you want to say something?
Hi guys, glad to be here. I think Drake is going to be running this, so I'm just going to sit back and listening in. Whenever I need to come in, I'll come in. Thanks to be here.
Yeah, you get to relax for once. All right, so with me, as you all know, I'm Draith. I'm the captain of Pirate Chain, president of the BPSA, and I'm also the primary advisor to Nightlife Crypto. With me today, I got Art from, he's the CEO of Any Percent Studios, which Any Percent Studios is the game development arm behind Nightlife Crypto. So, Art, you want to talk a little bit about yourself and Any Percent?
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Art Takusha. I think you kind of covered most of the things that I do. I'm a CEO of Any Percent Studio. I'm also a community manager at Komodo. So there's a lot of good things happening through ecosystem, and I'm happy to be here.
You want to talk a little bit about the crew behind Any Percent?
Oh, sure. We're working with, I need to count how many of us are there. I think around 10 people. We have a nice international colleagues, let's say. We have people from America, we have people from Europe, we have people from Africa, we have people from Asia, and we're all working together through the internet, and that works very well. We are working together for the last several months with the whole group, and we work quite past few years with the core group, which is also the second CEO and the lead designer in the company. As probably you know, we made the Prop Pirates, the first demo game for NLife, and now we're working on the Nightlife Drifting, which every month is getting better and more exciting and much more crystallized than an idea. So I'm looking forward to show it all to you guys. I hope you're gonna like it.
Sweet. And then we got Zucito, who's the CEO of Aureus and our technology partner building the backbone of Nightlife Crypto. So, Zucito, you want to talk about yourself and Aureus and what you guys do?
Yeah, it's not so exciting that that's just my nickname. It's also you can call me by Tony, just CEO of Aureus Technology, which we're also the operators of Polarity Exchange and a number of different technologies in the crypto space. And for NLife, we operate. I'm sure the team has used, or the community has used, the gateway technology that allows bridging NLife across many different networks. So that's one of the examples of technologies we provide. And obviously for Nightlife Crypto, we also did a lot of the data science as well as the software development for the casinos. So overall, pretty much any technology that Nightlife Crypto as well as the games require, whether it's cloud hosting, whether it's software development or data science, we are 100% behind the team and are able to help with the vast amount of expertise we have within our own company.
Yeah, pretty much they anything that is potentially impossible to solve, they're able to solve it. I have firsthand experience of this. So, all right. So let's get to it. So the key features of the game, as you all know, it's an action arcade style racing, drifting, and digital weapons integrated into NLife's metaverse, right? So this is going to be built into an entire metaverse that we're building over time. Now, the whole digital weapons thing, I'm still a little up in the air about it, but we're going to implement it and see how it works. Basically, what we mean by digital weapons is that instead of like, shooting missiles and massive explosions, things like that, it's more like, a digital version of an oil slick or like an EMP type of thing where it shuts off your engine, things like that, so that, it doesn't cause your car damage or anything like that. Plus, we have a whole lore behind this game, and when I say lore, I mean it could be an actual novel. We have a couple of amazing writers writing the backstory for it, and then the entire game dev team pitching in their ideas, shaping the characters, all that stuff. And basically, there's um, a huge storyline behind the main character of the game, that who runs the city and where he came from, how he is the way he is, his backstory and everything, how he knows the crew that he knows, and so forth. So I've read, what I guess what you would consider the first chapter, and I was blown away. And I know that everyone else who's read it was blown away as well. It's just absolutely fantastic. So can't wait for you guys to be able to read that too. So, but yeah, based off of that, one thing I can say is that the main character obviously was in a racing accident, which is why he doesn't allow conventional weapons within his city. So it's digital weapons only if we implement that. Now, in terms of NFTs and everything, which I know that everyone's excited about, every performance upgrade and car part is an NFT, right? So performance enhancing NFTs upgrade your car for when it comes to speed, acceleration, handling, so forth. And ownership allows you to equip those corresponding car parts and race with them. So, for example, if you were to buy an NFT off the marketplace from us, right, and or so actually technically it would be from another user because we're not selling. We made this clear in the very beginning amongst ourselves and then to our community as well, that any part that enhances the performance of any player or of an object or something, we are not selling personally. So any of those items that are for sale are not by us; it's by other users. We want to make sure that we have our user base be able to, profit and to make a store for themselves, or sell things that they attain. So anything that's attainable in game, we're not selling, right? So that's all user based. So whenever you win a race, right, you're awarded an NFT or a potentially a car, which is really rare. Well, NFT being a performance NFT, a car, or possibly a digital weapon, so forth. And then that NFT is sent to your Polygon address. And then from that point on, you can equip that, you can sell it, trade it, do whatever you want to do. And then all races are tier-based, based on performance NFTs equipped, right? So what we mean by that is whenever you equip enough NFTs, or equip enough performance parts, say you're in tier 1, if you equip enough, you get bumped up to tier 2, right? And then equip enough tier 2 parts, you go bump up to tier 3. So every tier you're in, you're eligible to win that tier's performance parts, right? The whole reason why we're doing this is to, as much as possible, avoid pay to win. I absolutely hate that concept. It drives me nuts. So basically, if you buy the best of the best NFT parts, performance parts, you'll get bumped up to the highest tier against people who have those parts already. And basically, you'll be competing against players that have earned them through time, who have played the game a ton, and more than likely, their skill is going to be no match for you, or you're not going to be any match for their skill. So this way, everything is a level playing field, and there's no advantages to buying the parts aside from, trying to start at a higher tier and then get higher tier parts. Now, as far as the NFTs, there's going to be hundreds of limited run NFTs available to purchase. They range from, a variety of cars from old school to new school. They're going to have individual parts for every single car. So, like everyone saw that we released the front bumper, rear bumper, side skirts, rims, spoiler, etc., for the current car partnership car that we have. Basically, we're going to have all that stuff for every single car, plus universal parts, like all rims are universal, for example, right? So this way you can buy a set of rims and then later on buy a car, or have a different car in game and then just equip them. But just like in real life, I want to make this kind of like based in reality, to where everything is equipable as it should be. So you won't have a front bumper that you can equip to multiple cars, because that wouldn't make any sense. Things like that. All limited run NFTs are part of the Economic Value Program, the EVP. So those of you who read about that, basically what that means is when we release NFTs, a set of NFTs, every week after its release, they get burnt. 20% of them get burnt. And then the remaining for sale get bumped up 20% in price. Now what this does, and this is a key, is that for those that, I know there's two different types of people that'll buy these NFTs. There's investors and players. Players will buy them because they want to use them. Investors want to see a profit with their NFTs. So for the best of both worlds, what we want to do, or what we're doing, is when we burn the NFTs, it makes them more rare, and we set the floor price higher so that people that are coming in later that want to buy them, they'll have to pay a little bit more. While at the same time, the people who have already purchased them already see a value increase in their NFTs. So, because the platform itself is selling them for more than what we previously sold them for, what they were sold for before. We believe that this is probably going to be, once it's noticed, it's going to be absolutely huge, and probably you'll see a lot more projects doing that too. All right, so there's going to be a district system that allows for city expansion. Basically, in the very beginning, we're going to release one district and then build off of there. So there's going to be several tracks within one district, and as we grow into more and more districts, each one is going to have its own set of tracks, and then some tracks are going to go through multiple districts, right? So each sub-district is going to have plots of land that'll be sold as NFTs for users to build on and earn from, as well as advertise with, right? Every district has billboards for advertising revenue, and there's going to be a total of 5 districts: entertainment, trade, utility, tech, and nature, right? Now here's another cool thing, right? So with the plots of land, they're going to be pricey. It's very pricey in the beginning, to begin with, because here, and this is key, basically when people do competitive racing, which I'll get to later, within each district, a portion of the winnings go to the people who own the land NFTs. So it's kind of like using their land, and then you're paying them for that, right? So if, say, one N life is wagered by each player, and there's 5 players, the player who wins gets 80% of the pot, and then 10% goes to the district NFT holders, and then the remaining 10% goes somewhere else, which is a feature that I'm not going to announce today because we want to keep that close to our chest. It's going to be really, really awesome. On top of that, you can form a crew with friends to own a garage and enter team races. Each crew has a default garage outside of the city, so you're just set up with a default garage. And then you can actually purchase a garage within the city for bragging rights, so when people are racing by, they can see your crew's name on the garage as you're racing by and everything. It's just for, prestige, I guess you would say. Players can compete in casual or competitive racing modes, which I'll explain later. Competitive allows for wagers prior to racing. So that's a little bit of detail into that, but I'll expand upon that later. Additional game features that allow users to win end life. That goes back to what I was saying about the whole district system and the feature that we're holding close to our chest. And on top of that, realistic graphics and captivating visuals. I mean, you guys saw the NFTs; those are in-game graphics, and you'll see some of those pictures in this deck. Car parts. Now, this is the winnable car parts that you can do on the right side. This is the purchasable car parts on the left side. Everything on the left side, all that does is enhance your car's visuals, sounds, the way it looks, everything, right? So you can purchase these NFTs over time as we release them, like exhaust sounds, blow-off sounds. So for those who have a turbo, you can equip a different type of blow-off valve sound, or like the supercharger sound, stuff like that. All the rest of them, obviously the body parts that go into the car, front bumpers, wide body kits, different tail lights, headlights, ground effects, which means undercar lights, different color head and tail light bulbs, wheel offsets, camber action. We're trying to make this as realistic as possible in terms of what you can do to your average car or your car in real life. Because I used to own a shop myself, and I used to be a drifter as well, not professionally or anything, but I used to do all this stuff, and I absolutely loved it. So having this kind of customizations in game, and keep in mind, each of these are NFTs. It's gonna be ridiculous amounts of NFTs and tons of different options for people to choose from in terms of how to customize the car to make it unique. And eventually, what we're going to do is we're going to release a template for each car so that people can actually customize their own skins, submit them to us, and then we'll release them as NFTs and send the designer one of the NFTs as well. So that's another thing that we'll be doing. But on the right side, you'll see all the winnable parts and the chances to get each part. And one feature we're thinking about doing is if you have a complete set of NFT, like for example the one we released recently, if you have all the parts for that minus the gold skin, then it'll increase your chances of getting the rare and ultra rare parts by a little bit. So that's one of the things that we're thinking about implementing. All right, the environment. So the setting is a Neo-Tokyo style city filled with neon accents and bright lights. There's 5 districts, which I went over. Each district has three plots of land that's purchasable as an NFT for the purchaser to advertise on, as well as generate revenue with when races occur in that district. So basically, we're trying to encourage people to be their own business, in a sense. So you can purchase that NFT, and then you can rent out some of the ad space in there for other projects to advertise on, you name it. And then, you can also generate end life when people race competitively in those districts. So, and then that's just some conceptual art for the city. Just some hand-drawn stuff by one of our artists. All right, now the districts. You have the entertainment district, which is the nightlife of the city, composed of clubs, a casino, a stadium, and various places to play games and enjoy the night out. You have the tech district, which is the business center of the city, where crypto firms, tech companies, and R&D labs reside, filled with skyscrapers and tall buildings. You have the utility district, which is the power generation and distribution part of the city, with substations, power plants, water systems, and various other utilities are located. So basically, when you race through that district, each district you race through is going to be unique. It's going to be captivating, and it's going to be fun to drive through. And eventually, when we enable free roam mode, you'll be able to go throughout the entire city and just visit each place and all that fun stuff. You got the trade district, which is the import and export of goods, complete with a seaport, airport, and train station. And there's going to be a few more additions in there after you start fully developing that. And then the nature district, which is the parks and recs area of the city, where individuals come to enjoy the nature and various outdoor sports. Vegetation is filled with bioluminescence for a futuristic feel. So think like Avatar in a sense when you're driving through, where plants light up and it's just glowing softly and naturally. It's going to look amazing. One district will be launched at a time, like I mentioned, and the first district we're going to be launching is the Entertainment District. And as you can see, that's the map concept of what we have in mind in terms of where the districts are located and how they're situated. All right, competitive gameplay. Right, so every player starts with a base model car, which they cannot sell. There's up to 4 players per race, which could change depending on gameplay and as we progress through the game in terms of development. Each player puts up an amount of end life, which the amount is to be determined for race stakes. And the winner of each race takes the end life pot and receives an NFT drop as well. So just like in the casual racing, you still get that NFT drop. Right, so it's initiated by the player spending end life and joining the race. Other players join as well. The winner receives the end life and a car part, and then the winner can equip, hold, or sell the car part as they feel. Players are put in the race tiers to match them up with other players whose cars are similar in speed and performance modifications. And each race's tiers awarded points. So basically, what that means is when you equip parts, each part assigns a point value to your car, and after so many points, your car is put into a next tier. So, for users that are like very skilled but not skilled enough to compete with, say, the higher tiers, it allows them to stick within a specific tier and just race within that tier. So that's another advantage that it has too. So this way, you can stick with specific skill levels pretty much. So as far as future gameplay that we'll be implementing over time, players can explore the metaverse by driving on the streets, highways, and various landmarks in and around the city, and the free roam mode, and utilize NFTs in future games and more. So the NFTs that are purchased in this game will be able to be used in future games that will involve those type of NFTs. So tournaments will be held in a stadium that we're building where all users can compete on the same track for large prizes. So you'll be facing off against, dozens and dozens of users who wish to put up a little bit of end life and then potentially win a massive pot. We're not sure yet if we're gonna have it where it costs anything to compete within the tournament, but basically the preliminary feeling is just a little bit of end life, but the pot at the end will be way bigger than any amount of end life that's put in. And non-players will also be able to earn end life utilizing a feature we'll announce in the closer to launch. It's like I mentioned before, but yeah, I'm just going to keep that close to my chest because literally I don't want anybody taking the idea and beating us to the punch when it comes to implementing something like that. And that's a little bit of the race concept art. But the difference between the concept art in terms of like the features of it and what's going to be in game, there's not going to be anybody walking on the sidewalks or any NPCs walking around. When basically the backstory of that is at night between a certain range of time, nobody's allowed on the streets except for drifters. So once we release the backstory, it'll make a lot more sense. Crews. Now, players can curate their own car crews in a garage outside the city. Garages will be customizable and allow players to show off their cars. In future developments, multiplayer free roam mode will be available as well as visiting other garages. Max crew size is 10. You can join existing crews. If you have a crew, you'll be able to participate in team relay style races. So basically, one car from each crew starts, and then once they complete the lap, then they pull off to an off ramp, and then the next 2 cars go. Garages automatically expand as new members join, and then intercity garages are available for purchase, visible while racing. And this is in-game graphics. Keep this in mind. This image shows in-game graphics of an actual concept of the garage itself. The cars are actual in-game graphics as well. And that car that's on the very right is the car that we released for Polygon. So that's literally real graphics. Now, the advertising ecosystem is really interesting because there's numerous opportunities for temporary and permanent advertisements with land, and our districts are a prime spot to advertise. Owners of any of the land within a district will own the NFT and a portion of the income from that district during competitive races, like I mentioned. Their logo will be also displayed prominently on the building, or if they want to rent out that, they can. And then land NFTs can be traded on the marketplace too. So just because you bought it doesn't mean you can't sell it. There's going to be also billboards within the city, and I don't mean like your standard ugly-ass billboards. If you look at certain places like I think it's Japan, certain other places, they have like these, they're like integrated with the building itself, and the art within it is like 3D, so when it's moving around, it looks like it's actually popping out when it isn't. That's the type of billboards we're talking about. Like, it's going to be like semi-futuristic. It's going to be really sweet. So this way, like, it's not sticking out like a sore thumb and just some blatant ad sitting there. It's going to be really, really cool stuff. Also, we will be reviewing the ads and the logos and stuff like that, just to make sure it doesn't contain any explicit material or profanity, things like that, because we want to make sure that any age range can really play this game. And we're setting it up in such a way that you don't really notice that it's run by blockchain. You know, so if a user that's not even in crypto wants to play, it'll automatically generate an address for them with their private keys and everything, so that they can copy that down, and then when they play, it's just like a normal game to them. You know, so that's the key thing that we're trying to do, is that make sure that it's accessible by not only people in crypto, but outside of crypto as well. Partnerships. So as you all know, we partnered with Polygon for this car. So basically, with any project that's wanting to partner with us, we'll design a complete car for them, like a completely unique car that's different from anything else that's available, and tons of parts and customizations for that car, like you guys saw for the Polygon car. And they're all released in a set, and each set has the same number of NFTs per NFT. So when talking about the EVP, basically when NFTs get burnt, they all get burnt. So this way there's no, there isn't a case where there's more front bumpers than cars itself, because that wouldn't make any sense, you know. So basically, there'll be an identical amount of NFTs per car, and when the EVP kicks in for each one, it'll just burn until it reaches zero available for sale for a specific part, and the first part that it hits, then everything else doesn't get burnt anymore. And yes, that is in-game graphics with better lighting than the previous image. And just like I mentioned, all the stuff that we build for the car for partnerships, you know, so it's a unique car model, unique front bumper, rear bumper, side skirt, rims, spoiler, license plate, car skin, paint style, and gold skin. So every partnership will include that, or maybe more, depending on if they request additional things and so forth. And that's an actual NFT, as you guys know. So those are the type of NFTs that are available on OpenSea. Advisors and partners. Obviously, you see me up there. You see Wolf, who is part of Aureus. He's a CBO and co-founder of Polarity.exchange and a Turtle Network contributor. Then you see Dream Tim, who's our marketing advisor. He's the head of marketing for Parachain, BPSAA, and Topol. He also just actually was offered a position at another large crypto firm. So he's damn good at what he does, I'll tell you that. In terms of partners, you can see all of our partners here, like on our website. You know, Aureus, KGB Concepts, Prize, 6K Group, Any% Studios, Black Dragon, cryptocurrency checkout, and Doki Doki, which will be announced next week, by the way. So we got a unique partnership coming up with them that we'll be announcing soon. So this is a little bit advanced information. And then strategic integrations with Polygon and Turtle Network. Obviously, you guys know we're on BSC as well as Ethereum. And then if there's another prominent EVM that comes up, we'll probably be on there too. And then, as you guys know, you can bridge your assets to any network you want using our bridge, thanks to Aureus for building it. So if you want to avoid trading fees, say you buy some on Ethereum, but then you're like, I don't want to pay all these stupid transaction fees when I trade these things, you can take your NLife and then bridge it over to BSC or Polygon. And Polygon will be on QuickSwap sometime in the near future, probably within weeks from now. And then, as you guys know, most of our liquidity is currently on PancakeSwap. And once everything starts rolling a lot more in terms of users, in terms of funding and things like that, we'll be adding more liquidity to Ethereum, and we'll be adding a lot of liquidity over to QuickSwap as well, just so that there's less price impact when people buy and sell. And then the last slide, I believe it's the last slide, that I have for you guys is the team itself. We've got quite a few people on our team, and actually there's more than this now. So as you see, Raphael is the CEO of Nightlife Crypto. You have Brandon and Brian, who are game designers who are developing the backstory for Nightlife Drifting. You have Nigel and Art, who are the 80% Studio CEOs, and Nigel is the lead game dev. You have Zucito, also known as Tony, who is the CEO of Aureus and our technology partner building the backbone of Nightlife Crypto. You have Rose, who's an amazing 3D artist. You have Heather, who is also another amazing 3D artist and environment artist, and she's also the one that designed the Polygon car. You have Marius, who's HR and business development. Robin, who's an awesome game and level designer, who's building the entire city for us, or not the entire city, but the tracks and all this other fun stuff. Rodrigo, who's an amazing 3D model and animator, who's designing the characters for the game. You have Cax, who is here actually doing community support. And we call him a robot because it seems like he doesn't sleep, because he's just does everything for everybody. You have Jackie, who is a Solidity dev on our team, developing the contracts for all the EVMs. There's Steven, who's one of our game testers. You have Sly, who's also part of Aureus and a development partner, who's doing a lot of the all the website stuff and some of the casino stuff and things like that. You have Paul, who's an amazing video producer. He does all of our tutorials and things like that for NLife. You have BKGB, who's an infrastructure partner and does a lot of security stuff. You have Cam, who's our business developer, and then Crystal, who is part of our marketing team. She's the one who does the TikTok videos and a bunch of the marketing videos as well. And that's it. So if anybody has any questions, we got a few minutes to spare. So go ahead and type that in, let's see, NLife General Chat, and then we can go through them. Oswald said, yeah, advertising in this game is so sick. Yeah, it's going to be amazing, dude. One thing I want to mention to everybody is that we're not your typical, as you can tell, we're not your typical gaming crypto company, whatever. All the other games in crypto that I've seen are either just crap, something that my 5-year-old can make, or they promise the world and don't end up delivering. We are wanting to change all of that completely. So the thing I want to mention is games are not made instantly. Game development takes a while, and I mean a while. So for those asking, when's the game coming out, things like that, for one, we want to make sure the game is perfect on launch. So that's one thing that takes a while, and two, real game development with graphics like this take a while to do. So one thing we're planning on doing is expanding our team even more for the game development side and the tech side, so to help speed this up more. And the reason why any percent is called any percent is because for those of you who play video games, it's a speed run term. So basically, they create amazing stuff extremely fast. So for those who've played, even some of the more basic games that are released by big name production studios, they take a year or two to make, but we're making them in less than 6 months. So it's really fast for what game development really is. But don't expect games to come out every single month until we get to the point where third-party developers are actually creating games and then requesting to list them on our platform, things like that. And we'll have an SDK ready for them so they can easily integrate their stuff. Jimmy says, so when can I buy an R34 NFT? That's actually one of the cars that I really want to get made for the game itself, not via a partnership car or anything. So, I'll see what I can do about releasing an R34 this year, because I love those cars too, man. All right, so Cactus, when did you guys do all this stuff? The pitch deck is insane. Raise the head for the team. They were working in the background. Yeah, so basically, it's just continual development. See, the thing is, we don't talk much. I talk more than most people, but our team doesn't talk much because they're just nose to the ground developing and creating and everything. So we're always busy. We're always doing something. So this is not one of the chattier communities that I've ever seen. It's actually more on the quiet side. But just everyone should know that we're just always working. And basically, a lot of people think that I don't sleep either, which is kind of true. So, yeah, we're just always busy, nose to the grind, working. Oswald said, wouldn't it be better if the NFT plots of land that will be used in sub-districts be better off rented out instead of sold? That way the game has a prominent income stream for future development. So that was one of the things that we actually discussed, and basically income in hand is better than potential income that may not happen. Right? So we have a lot of things that we're developing that will generate income streams for the project, for development and everything like that, to expand our teams, to, do a lot of different things, because the project funds that are coming in, and especially the vast majority of funds that would ever be coming in the future, all of that is put toward development. We are a very, very development heavy team and development heavy in funds. So we want to make sure that everything is secure for our team for years to come. So all those funds that come in the future will be used for development and marketing and so forth. Now, that being said, if we have some whales that want to purchase that land, like I said, it's going to be very, very expensive, but we want to make sure that it's just one initial upfront cost, and then the onus is on them to rent it out, to promote it, and all this other stuff. And one of the other ideas that we had too, which is just an idea, it's not something that is definitely going to be implemented, it's just something that I tossed around, because one thing we want to do is make sure that we give users as many possibilities of earning an income as possible, right? So one of the ideas that I had was basically doing kind of a supply chain thing, to where users can purchase NFTs in bulk at a discount and be the ones that sell them for us. So basically, there's an initial price that we would have a decent sized discount for, depending on how many are bought. And then that user can then sell those NFTs for whatever they choose to sell them for. So we open that up to everybody, or we would if we do implement that, but it's just still an idea that's rolling around. Paul says, one thing I'm interested in knowing is, will there be monthly skins or expansion packs? Kind of like real life, but better. Basically, what we aim to do is release new content for this game as much as possible, especially when it launches. We want to make sure that everything stays fresh. So one of the things is basically making sure that our team expands to the point where we have someone dedicated for parts and cars and things like that, or a couple people dedicated to that so they can continually produce content for this game. And then on top of that, in parallel, work on another game as well. So we want to make sure that we still support all of the games that we produce and continually provide content for each one. Tails High says, can you speak more about the future plans to integrate third-party game devs into the platform, i.e., will they be building within the metaverse or integrating into their launcher or into the launcher? Basically, yes, they'll be integrating into the launcher. So you can think of our launcher as Steam in a sense where you'll see all the games available on the platform there. You can download or purchase depending on what third party wants to do. A lot of our games are going to be free to play that are developed by us, but for premium features, like car skins or cars themselves or whatever, what do you call it? Aesthetic feature, I guess you would say. Whatever aesthetic feature the user wants to purchase, yeah, that gets given to us. So that's part of the funds that come in from, because I personally, I truly believe in the Fortnite model in the sense where it's free to play. Users can jump in whenever they want, and then they can spend if they wish. I don't like games where they kind of force you to succeed by paying. So if we do release a game that actually costs money, it's going to be relatively on the inexpensive side, just to make sure that any user can play. So, yes, and Nightlife Drifting will be free to play. And another thing too is that we're going to have a feature that'll be. I'm not going to give away too many details because there's another feature that we're going to be implementing that we don't want anybody to copy right away. But we will be having the ability for people to stake N-Life, specifically N-Life, and earn Ethereum on Polygon. I'm not going to tell you guys how yet because, like I said, until we implement it, I'm going to keep that close to our chest because this is going to be really, really cool stuff. So. All right. Any other questions?
I can take my money. This presentation, I want to play the game. It's been too far that I see only bits and pieces from the whole development. Now, when I see the whole pitch deck, I'm like, damn! It's been only a month that I've been abroad, and there's so much cool.
No, right? It's amazing to see all these ideas and all these things in practice, or it will be. That is.
Absolutely, and you see the progress that we're making also with the team that are writing and everything. The kind of the courses that we're launching within our own team. It's so important and it brings a lot of good energy.
Exactly. Cax asked, is the staking I just mentioned solo staking or will it need liquidity? No, there's no liquidity required. It's just solo staking. So there's no need for providing liquidity first. It's just literally you get some in life, you stake it, and then you can earn Ethereum. So. as I said, one thing that I've always found to be important is to give users a way to generate an income without having to, put up a ton of stuff. So liquidity pool staking was one of those ways. There's certain features in this game, like I mentioned, that's another way. And then obviously we're trying to continually build stuff on the platform for users to earn, because I truly believe that is one of the spirits of crypto, is having people become their own monetary source. And yes, this will be posted on YouTube. All right, well, I don't really see any more questions, so let's go ahead and cut this here. I appreciate everybody coming. I appreciate all the questions, appreciate the support, and I look forward to celebrating with everybody when this game is released and everyone starts playing and this platform becomes the biggest gaming platform in crypto. I have zero doubts about that. It's just a matter of time. So thank you all for coming. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you all later.